Yeah, it's noisy here, but, you know, I told you, he doesn't want me recording in his video in his house. I don't blame him. For months, I've been putting the stuff on my moles, the 3 moles. You know, it's one of those things where I never even would have thought about it. You know, and then that woman who gave me the colonic had to mention it. You know, you can get rid of those by putting baking soda and castor oil on it, and it'll fall right off. No, it's not that simple. I mean, they're starting. You can wiggle them, see? I mean, they might eventually come off for months. I don't know. He bought Manuka honey, and maybe he says that's supposed to be like, I don't know, ambrosia of the gods or something. So anyway, he doesn't want me recording in his house. So that's why I'm recording here. I just went for an hour-and-a-half walk. He's letting me stay another 6 weeks. Isn't that awesome? He's so nice. He's just so fucking awesome. You know? And you know what's great about him too? You know, I'm not friends with that woman in the shelter anymore. He doesn't care. He thinks like, you know, she should have been more lenient, and I mean more like, if I apologize, she should have written me an email, you know, let's just be friends, Laura, no big deal, I forgive you. No, this was a farce of a friendship. This was a one-sided friendship, blah, 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 whatever. No. It wasn't a one-sided friendship, people. I'm needy. She needed money, okay? And it wasn't just that I helped her out financially. I also, she needed my understanding about, you know, that it sucked that she was really destitute, and I'm the one. I went out of my way to visit her, she'd asked me at the last minute if she could have money, and I did it without complaint, gave it, you know, let her borrow it, and then I get this fucking email from her saying, actually putting the onus on me, putting the blame on me that I lent her money when she needed it, when she begged me for it, you know. I'm not going to borrow money. No, this is how it started. The sheer amount of my debt to you overwhelms me. And what my musician ex said was, yeah, she didn't want you. At one point, you know, I started saying I'm going to keep track of it, and I didn't even keep track of lunches or little drinks, you know, of water or soda or coffee or lunches, whatever. All I kept track of was the big stuff. If she borrowed money to pay for her cell phone, or if she borrowed cash for whatever. And he's like, yeah, she didn't want you to start keeping track of it. Yeah, you want to know why I started keeping track of it? I mean, she knew I got that $17,000. I didn't need the money. It's that if I'm lending you money, right, and you'll say things to me like, or, you know, I feel like one time she said to me, because I have my moments, I have my little tiffs, I have my little incidences or whatever, and she'd be like, do you wonder why you don't have any friends, Laura? If you're indicating to me that we're really different and that you probably don't, you know, then if I'm lending you money, I'm going to think, well, would you like me if I wasn't lending you the money? Would you really like me all that much? And then in the end, she was saying stuff like, oh, I see now, I never understood before why those people in the shelter said what they said about you. No, most of them weren't worthy of wiping my shoes, you know what I mean? They weren't. She knows damn well, and she would even say it, that a lot of them were jerks, and, you know, it's just, in the end, instead of just accepting my apology, she had to say, this is a one-sided friendship, and when you decide not to be the center of your own universe, you contact me. And then she was saying, you didn't even ask me how I'm doing. Yeah, I didn't ask you how you were doing because you were ripping into me even after email. This one-sided friendship and all this crap and whatever. And then she goes, well, you were done with me, remember? No, I was accepting that you were pissed off at me, you know? And then in the end she was like, I don't kiss anybody's ass. This is my message to her. I never wanted you to kiss my ass, never wanted anything like that. Wanted indication that you appreciated the good in me and would tolerate the bad, you know, and I wasn't getting that from her. And it shows you how petty she is, because at one point, you know what she says to me? Even if she's acting like, you know, my musician ex said, yeah, she didn't want you to even start keeping track. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am going to start keeping track, because what if it goes on forever and ever and ever? She was saying things, she was supposed to have money or something, and she was saying to me that, yeah, you probably just wanted me to get money because you probably just want me to get a job and want me to get money so you can you can just having me pay you back. Yeah, my $300, Samantha, that I lessened from over twice that. And then she says, I'm going to subtract the money from that for that phone that never worked right, and you didn't give me the receipt in a timely manner. I couldn't find it. I spent hours looking for it. I even had my mom look through my receipts again because I was tired. That's what a friend does. I was busting my ass. I never said I was perfect, okay? But I admit my flaws. I admit my imperfections. I admit my insecurities. And for her to say it was a one-sided friendship, no! It was that you're not needy, so you don't need, you needed different things. You needed understanding that you were totally fucking destitute broke, okay? And I needed understanding that I'm needy, and she would say, I knew you were high maintenance or whatever, but you get it? For her to turn around and say all that shit. And in the end, she ended it, and she's like, for whatever reason, she wrote me a nice email, and I hadn't even read that. I deleted it without reading it, and then I got another email from her that was in a response from another email that I'd sent like 5 days before or something. But the bottom line is, that's why my musician ex called her. He's called her like a schizophrenic, whatever. She says, see, let me live in you in a little secret. I'm not fucked up like you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You were still mentioning, we're not even barely friends anymore. And you're still mentioning the fact, well, you get upset with your mom because she talks in the morning to the dogs and blah, blah, blah. She's not blowing things up. Yeah, well, your cousin, I don't want to kill my mom, and I do a lot of things for her. I might get angry. I have every right. I don't have right to get angry with her, but I have a right to expect her to be quiet. And you know what? She's still bringing it up. What does that tell you? She's going to hold every little fucking flaw of mine under a microscope. Because the fact is, even in the quote-unquote nicer email that I had to wait 17 emails to get, and then it was too late because I deleted it without reading it, and then I got the horrible email from her that I just decided to read for the hell of it because it was a reply to an email. It said reply instead of having something in the headline, so I thought I wanted to see, and then that's it. This friendship's over, you're fucked up, enjoy your fucked up life, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, she's not perfect, okay? She was fucking a married guy, fooling around with a married guy, not fucking him or whatever, for money, okay? And like my musician ex, he doesn't like her, and he thinks she was just, maybe she cared about me a little bit, but she was really just using me, and she really couldn't tolerate my flaws or whatever. We were too different. We share different morals. I want to be a better person. You know what I mean? I want to, and she can justify, oh, well, if I wasn't doing stuff with him, he'd be doing it with some other. No, my musician says that's just an excuse. Okay? We were different. We were too different, and I couldn't stand the cigarette smoke. But the thing is, she showed her real true colors in the end. And she had health problems, and her whole excuse was, I need to be more understanding, and I was as understanding as I could be. Was I perfect? No. But my musician ex gave a perfect example. He has a cousin or whatever who's a paraplegic, married. Do you think that husband has to back down all the time and never? He's like, of course they fight. Of course he doesn't always have to be, well, she's in a wheelchair, so I shouldn't say anything to her. I shouldn't get upset. I shouldn't whatever. But this former friend, that's how she would be. You have to be more understand that I'm this and I'm that and I have health problems and whatever. I wasn't perfect. Okay? So anyway, I can stay here another 6 weeks. I bought at Macy's yesterday 2 pairs of jeans that my musician ex checked out, the Behind. We looked at other places, I'm not going to tell you the name of the place. I don't know if it's just, I've never heard of it before. Maybe it's only in the state. I don't want to reveal the state I'm in, but in any case, it was a place that only sold jeans, and they were too tight in the crotch. And I want jeans to look good on me, but I can't, I'm not like other women with their skin-tight jeans. I can't stand it, and it's not good for you anyway. You can get, bad things can happen down there when you wear, but women do it all the time, but it's getting dark, and I have to go home, but I fit into size 10, and my musician ex was like, well, sizes are arbitrary, and you shouldn't get so excited that you fit into size 10s. Yeah, Okay, they're arbitrary. You're right, they are. In other places I'll be in a 12, and maybe I could even be in a 14. That's not the point. They were arbitrary over 5+ years ago, the whole time I was with Donald, you know, and I was in a 16 or an 18, okay? So, yeah, I can be happy I fit into size 10 jeans, okay? Another store, I was in size 12. He checked out, I tried on Levi's and Curvy. They were curvy, designed for curvy women. These are too. These are INC, curvy boot cut, okay? I got them, and he liked these ones on me, size 10s, better than the size 12 in the Levi's. So, I fit into size 10 pants, you guys. That's cool, huh? But it's getting dark, and that's it. I'm still eating organic, eating healthy. I'm staying here another 6 weeks. I don't know what else I can say. I just know that if you guys, people have analyzed it, my musician next, you know, he analyzes it from the outside, and he doesn't like, he doesn't think she's I'm like, well, she wasn't stupid. I'm not going to be friends with somebody stupid. He's like, no, she's smart to a point, Laura, but she doesn't see, like, the bigger picture, whatever. I'll give you a perfect example before it gets dark and I have to get home. Obviously, and I was going to cool it if we had stayed friends, because at one point she said, you're killing, you know, you're a downer or whatever. So I had to cool it with talking to her, you know, bitching about my mom, whatever. In her eyes, remove yourself from the problem. You don't get along with your mom, move out, get a room. Okay. I didn't want to get a room. Yeah. And my musician ex says, no, you don't want to get a room, and I would be lonely. He understands. He's like, you have problems with your mom or whatever, but you'd be miserable in a room. It would take most of your money, and you just would be totally miserable. But to her, she's just like, and she wouldn't get off my case about it until I told her I couldn't afford it. Then she understands money or whatever. But the bottom line is, whether I could afford it or not, I don't want to go live in a room. It is more healthy for me, and to look at the bigger picture, if I learn to get along with my mother, than that if I just quote-unquote remove myself from the problem. But my shelter friend couldn't see that, because all she wants is to get a room. And she's like, why? You fight with her all the time, get a room, move out. To her, it's simple. You move out and you remove yourself from the problem. Just like she looks at other stuff, she doesn't see, oh, well, she wants to kill somebody who she doesn't like how her cousin's talking to her over the phone. I literally, Laura, if she'd been in front of me, I would have killed her. She's not joking, okay? I'm not going to tell you about her past, but she scares me a little bit, okay? She's just too, I'm sorry, what do you call it? She even says that she's ghetto, she's street, she's whatever, and she maybe tries to hide it, but in the end, she was ripping into me, and I've been good to her, so fuck her, you know, because she just, and only when she knew when I was saying, fine, I'm a horrible friend, you know, why do you even want to be my friend, then she turned it around. And then I didn't even read the email when she turned it around, but it's just as well, because if had I read that and responded to it, she might never have sent the other one that she didn't even give me a chance. She didn't even know if I'd even been on the computer. She might not have sent the other one that showed her true colors. So she revealed her true colors, and even if she cries, I really shouldn't be her friend anymore. And if I was going to be her friend, I'd have to pay, are you working now? Do you have money? You know, because I don't trust you. I don't know if you really care about me, if you'll say this, that, whatever. Maybe you don't want the gravy train to end, you know? I have to think that way. She didn't like it probably when I started keeping track of the money, but for her to say in the end, I'm going to subtract the amount of that phone, conveniently forgetting that I reduced her debt from over twice of $300. But even when she sent me that email, blaming me practically, the sheer amount of my debt to you overwhelms me. And, you know, I don't want to borrow any more money unless it's for medical or whatever purposes. And then what does she do? She borrows it for cigarettes at some point. And even when she's just something else. I don't know. All I know is that my musician ex is wonderful. He doesn't condescend like she did, and she's in no position to. You know, he doesn't patronize me. He recognizes me as an intelligent human being who's trying to be good and do the right thing. And yeah, I'm flawed, and yeah, I'm fucked up. But he doesn't think that precludes me from being intelligent. Not that she did either. But he also, she's not take the good with the bad. and my shelter friend didn't do that. But the bottom line is, in the end, she was ripping into me left and right when I was just saying, maybe we can't be friends. Maybe we can't, or whatever. And she just get angry, and she can't recognize that, where I'm coming from, and that maybe she has done things that hurt me too. No, it's just me. When you stop being the center of your own universe, you give me a call, and then she was saying, blah, 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 and you act like I'm I don't even know. I shared the email with him, and he felt like she was talking in circles, so I don't know. But I'm staying here another 6 weeks. I've kept my weight down at 160 or below. I was 167 when I got here because I pigged out right before I was coming here, but I lost that in a week, and I've kept it 160 and below. I'm fasting once a week. I fast and I drop, 2 or 3 pounds, and then I gain it again. But it's not for weight loss. It's beneficial to your body. Like the Miracle Doctor book said that I read, if you fast once a week, once a week for 7 years, you've given your body a break from digestion for an entire year. If you just do it, 4 times a month for 7 years, one of those years is you've given your body the break, and I'm learning so much from him. He doesn't like it when I talk too much. She's like, you got to stop talking about her. Get over it. I know, but she was my friend for a long time, and this all makes me sad, and But anyway, size 10 jeans. And yeah, I'm excited to fit into 10s. I know it's just because it's a different cut of jean, But they make my ass look good, and they're boot cut. They're a different kind of jean, and they're stretchy, and they don't gut my crotch, and they're still flattering, and so it's all.